The sun beat down on the concrete of Venice Beach, California, with the intensity of a spotlight. It was a scorching Saturday afternoon at the legendary Muscle Beach, the open-air cathedral of iron where legends were made. The air was thick, carrying a unique cocktail of scents: the salt spray from the Pacific Ocean, the chemical sweetness of coconut sunscreen, and the metallic tang of rusty iron plates clanking together. It was a place of worship for the body, a jungle of chrome and sweat. Massive men with arms the size of tree trunks grunted as they hoisted impossible weights, their skin glistening with oil and effort. Tourists lined the chain-link fence, snapping photos, gawking at the spectacle of human strength. But amidst the giants, there was Leo. 16-year-old Leo looked like he had wandered into the lion's den by mistake. He stood near the dumbbell rack, clutching a water bottle with white-knuckled tension. He was painfully thin, his elbows sharp and knobby, his posture hunched as if trying to disappear. He wore an oversized heather gray t-shirt with the faded words Math Club printed across the chest, a shirt that hung off his frame like a curtain. His shorts were baggy, reaching past his knees, and his thick glasses were held together at the bridge by a strip of white medical tape. Leo had spent the last 3 months saving his allowance to buy a day pass here. He didn't want to be a bodybuilder. He just wanted to stop being the kid everyone shoved into lockers. He wanted to feel strong, even just for a day. His internal monologue was a racing drumbeat of anxiety. Don't drop anything. Don't look at anyone. Just do your sets and leave. You belong here. No, you don't. No, you don't. He took a deep breath, adjusting his taped glasses, and walked toward an empty flat bench. It felt like walking a tightrope. Every clank of a weight made him flinch. He sat down, the vinyl hot against his back, and reached for the lightest dumbbells he could find, 2 15-pound weights. To the monsters around him, these were paperweights. To Leo, they were the first bricks of a new life. Just as Leo began his first shaky press, a shadow fell over him. It wasn't a cloud. It was an ego. Jax strutted into the area like he owned the zip code. At 25, Jax was the definition of a gym bro influencer. He wore a neon pink stringer tank top that barely covered his nipples, designed to show off his spray-tan chest and shaved arms. Expensive, pristine white headphones hung around his neck, not for listening, but as an accessory. In his hand, he carried a tripod and a high-end camera, treating the gym not as a place to work out, but as his personal film set. Jax was filming his Saturday shred content for his followers. He set up his tripod right in the middle of the walkway, blocking 3 machines. He checked his hair in the mirror, flexed his bicep, and flashed a rehearsed, dazzling white smile at the lens. "What's up, aesthetic crew?" Jax shouted at the camera, ignoring the people trying to train around him. "Today we are crushing chest. No excuses, no pain, no gain." He turned to grab some heavy dumbbells and noticed Leo. Leo was in the background of his shot. Leo, with his math shirt and taped glasses, struggling with 15-pound weights. Jax's smile dropped instantly. He sighed, a loud, exaggerated sound of annoyance. He walked over to the bench where Leo was lying. "Hey, Urkel," Jax barked, snapping his fingers. Leo froze, the weights hovering halfway up. He lowered them quickly and sat up, his heart hammering. "Sorry? Are you talking to me?" "Yeah, I'm talking to you," Jax sneered, looking Leo up and down with disgust. "You're in my frame. I'm trying to film here, and you're ruining the aesthetic. Look at you." He gestured at Leo's outfit like it was a crime scene. "Math club? Really? The library is 3 blocks that way, buddy." A few of Jax's sycophant friends laughed in the background. Leo's face burned hot red. I just paid for a pass. I'm just trying to work out." "Work out?" Jax laughed, playing to his audience. "You call that working out? You're lifting soup cans. Move. I need this bench for the thumbnail. But there are other benches," Leo whispered, his voice trembling. "I was here first. Jax's eyes narrowed. He wasn't used to hearing no. He cared about lighting, angles, and dominance. He stepped closer, invading Leo's personal space. The smell of cheap cologne and arrogance was suffocating. "I didn't ask," Jax said coldly. Without warning, Jax shoved Leo. It wasn't a playful nudge. It was a hard physical push to the shoulder. Leo, already off balance and light, went flying. He tumbled off the bench, his limbs tangling. He hit the concrete hard. The 15-pound dumbbell rolled away. His glasses flew off his face and skidded across the rough ground. Leo scrambled on the floor, his hands patting the hot concrete blindly. "My glasses," he panic-whispered. "I can't see." He found them. But when he picked them up, the frame was snapped in half. The tape had given way. Jax stood over him, looking down with a smirk. "Oops, maybe you should have moved when I asked. Now get out of my shot before you break something else." Leo sat there in the dirt, holding his broken glasses. The humiliation was a physical weight, heavier than any barbell in the park. He looked around. The tourists were watching. The other gym-goers looked uncomfortable, but they turned away, putting their headphones back on. The bystander effect was in full force. Nobody wanted to mess with the loud, aggressive guy with the camera. Leo wiped a tear that leaked from his eye, mixing with the dust on his cheek. He felt small, worthless. He started to stand up, ready to run away and never come back. If your heart breaks for this injustice, if you believe that the gym belongs to everyone and bullying is a sign of weakness, please take a moment right now to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Let's prove that true strength lifts others up. Jax turned back to his camera, fixing his neon tank top. "Sorry about that, guys. Sometimes you gotta take out the trash to get a clean set. All right, let's go." He reached for the weights. But he stopped. The sunlight, which had been blindingly bright, suddenly disappeared. A shadow, a massive, sprawling shadow, covered Jax, his camera, and the entire bench area. The clanking of weights in the pit stopped. The chatter of the tourists died out. Jax turned around, annoyed. "Hey, you're blocking my leg." The words died in his throat. Standing behind him were the Iron Titans. There were 5 of them, and they didn't look like humans. They looked like mountains carved from granite. These weren't Instagram models. These were old-school, hardcore bodybuilders. The leader, a man known only as Titan, stood 6'8". He wore a tattered gray rag that had been ripped open by the sheer size of his chest. His skin was like leather, mapped with a spiderweb of veins that pulsed with every breath. He was covered in white lifting chalk. His hands, his shoulders, even his face looked like he had been forged in a dust storm. Titan didn't say a word. He just breathed, deep and heavy, like a bull preparing to charge. Behind him stood his crew, Sledge, Tank, Viper, and Brick. They formed a wall of muscle that blocked out the rest of the world. Jax, who thought he was big, suddenly looked like a child. He took a step back, bumping into his tripod. "Whoa, hey guys. Can I help you?" Titan looked at Jax's neon shirt. Then he looked at Leo, who was standing to the side, clutching his broken glasses, trying to hold back tears. Titan stepped forward. The ground seemed to shake under his massive work boots. He walked past Jax, as if he didn't exist, and stopped in front of Leo. "Let me see," Titan rumbled. His voice sounded like 2 tectonic plates grinding together. Leo, terrified, held out the broken glasses. Titan took them with a hand that was calloused and rough, holding the delicate frames gently. He looked at them, then looked at Jax. Titan turned slowly. The rage radiating off him was palpable. It was a silent heat, hotter than the California sun. "You broke them," Titan stated. It wasn't a question. It was an accident. Jax stammered, his spray tan paling. "He was in my way. I'm trying to work here." Titan took another step toward Jax. Jax backed up until he hit the dumbbell rack. He was trapped. "In your way?" Titan repeated. He pointed a chalk-covered finger at Jax's chest. This is Muscle Beach. It is sacred ground. We build people here. We do not break them. Jocks looked for an exit, but Sledge and Tank had moved to block the sides. The Iron Titans didn't raise their fists. They didn't shout. They simply used silent power. Their sheer presence, the accumulation of decades of discipline and pain, was terrifying. I have a lot of followers, Jack squeaked, trying to use his only weapon. I'm filming. Titan reached out and grabbed the camera tripod with one hand. He didn't break it. He simply folded it up, popped the memory card out with his thumb, and handed the equipment to Jax. Filming is over, Titan said softly. Apologize to the boy. Jax looked at the five giants. He looked at the crowd, who were now watching with intensity. His ego crumbled. I'm sorry, Jax muttered, looking at the floor. Louder. Sledge grunted from the side. I'm sorry. Jax yelled, his voice cracking. I shouldn't have pushed you. Titan stared at Jax for a long, uncomfortable moment. Leave, and do not come back until you learn what strength actually means. Jax grabbed his camera and scrambled away, weaving through the crowd, his neon pink shirt disappearing into the parking lot. He didn't look back. Titan turned back to Leo. The terrifying scowl vanished, replaced by a look of profound respect. He reached into the pocket of his tattered shorts and pulled out a wad of cash. For the glasses, Titan said, pressing it into Leo's hand. I can't, Leo whispered. Take it, Titan commanded gently. Then he put a massive hand on Leo's shoulder. And don't go anywhere. You have a workout to finish. But I'm weak, Leo said, looking at his skinny arms. Titan smiled. We were all weak once, little brother. The only shame is in not lifting. Titan turned to his crew. Spot him. We're doing chest. For the next hour, the tourists at Venice Beach saw something incredible. They saw the Iron Titans, the scariest men on the beach, surrounding a skinny kid in a math club shirt. They weren't intimidating him. They were cheering him on. They loaded the bar. They corrected his form. They high-fived him. That day, Leo didn't just fix his glasses. He fixed his vision of himself. He realized that true strength isn't about how much you can bench press, or how many followers you have, or how loud you can scream. True strength is using your power to protect those who have none. Leo is still training at Muscle Beach. He's bigger now, stronger. And every Saturday, he trains with Titan. They are the oddest couple in California, but the bond between them is stronger than steel. So, I have to ask you, if you were at the gym that day and you saw Jax push Leo, what would you have done? Would you have looked away, or would you have stepped in? Let us know in the comments below. And remember, be the person who spots others when they are struggling. Thanks for watching.